All right, so today I'm going to be looking at Atom or Cosmos. This is a coin that I've known about for a while. It was good to me in the last bull run. If I had to guess, I'd say it's probably one of those coins that's going to stick around for the future. And so figured I'd jump on here, do some more longer term analysis. So the first thing I want to point out for Atom is we are in slightly different market structure than Bitcoin, you can say. Atom actually bottomed in June, whereas Bitcoin in November, December, when Atom put in these lows, Bitcoin actually came down and made a lower low. And so there is a key difference in market structure here. Atom made a higher low, and if we can get above these highs up here, then we may be getting more of a macro uptrend here. But also, there is the possibility that we take out those highs and we swing failure pattern them, which would basically mean that we are not beginning an uptrend. We failed to make and maintain this higher high here. And if we quickly fall back below, that could be more of a bearish sign. So off the bat, we have a very key level that we should be watching for Atom is these highs, because whatever happens there will probably determine the future price action. And there are some very interesting levels of resistance right above that high. But before we get into that, I want to talk about some local levels quickly. So we recently came up and tapped off this untapped daily level. And right now we are coming back down towards this value area high, looking for potentially a little retest of this value area high. There's also these previous highs right here that we could retest for support before potentially making another higher high here. So I am watching this key level right around that value area high for potential support. See if we're going to continue this uptrend here. But if we lose this value area high, if we lose this previous resistance here, if we fall back down below here and then start finding resistance in this area again, we're probably going to see lower. But if we do manage to get a little bounce here, keep on making higher highs, there are a few levels of resistance we have to get through before we get to these highs up here. There is that high at about 15.8. There's that untapped daily at 16.5. And there's another wick right before that high. I didn't mark it out, but this high is really the level I'm going to be watching. So this right here is also a pretty crucial level. I'm interested to see what happens here. And we do have some bearish signs on Market Cipher here. Bearish divergences. The 12-hour money flow is trending downwards. I'm sure if we go to like the 4-hour, it's going to look a lot worse, and it does. However, we did just get this little 4-hour trigger wave here. The money flow isn't looking horrible. It's not looking as bad as Bitcoin, at least. Bitcoin's 4-hour money flow already crossed into the red. It's looking a lot more barren, I would say. So there is still potential that we get a little bounce from this area here. We could get like a 12-hour trigger wave here, maybe then come up and print some more bearish divergences if we make another higher high. That is a possibility. If we fall below this level, we got some fib levels on the way down. If it's going to be a strong uptrend, maybe we could come down, bounce off the 382, and then continue going up. But I really like this zone between the golden pocket, the 786, and this point of control. This is also a key support and resistance area as well. We found strong support here, strong resistance here, some support. And if I turn on my NDPOC folder, we do have this NDPOC right around that 786 and the point of control. So that interests me there. That point of control is looking pretty juicy, honestly. And I also have this zone marked out down here for if we give back that whole move, if we come back down to take out those lows. We have this 786 right below the lows that we put in. So if we come back down towards those lows, a CDW into that 786 could be juicy at the value area low as well. And we also got some untapped weeklies down here that I'd be watching. We also got the lows that I'd be watching. But yeah, really these are the most key macro support levels, I'd say, at least within this little range that we're in. I haven't really looked at much outside of this range for support, but for resistance, we do have lots of key levels above us. So let's say we do start getting another move to the upside here, and we start coming up to take out these highs. Like I said, this is very key. So if I go to the 2-day time frame, you can see this one blue candle sitting amongst all these purple candles. That is what I would consider to be a 2-day order block, or at least this is a little area of consolidation before we continued that downtrend. On the daily, we had a couple blue candles here. Price spent a little bit of time trading in this area. There were clearly some buy orders, clearly some longs or something. So there's probably going to be liquidity in this area as well. And you can also see I have written here start of high volume area. So if I zoom out and I turn on the VRVP, which I could have sworn this used to be VPVR. Maybe they swapped them. Either way, this is the visible range volume profile. It'll give you the volume for everything that you have on screen. If you zoom out, it will adjust. If you zoom in, it will adjust. In between, like these highs and these lows, there is a bit of a dip in volume, which shows that there was a lot of atom traded down here, and there was a lot of atom traded up here, but not a whole lot traded in this little zone. And about halfway through this little order block here, this volume starts to turn to the upside. We start seeing this little zone of high volume, and so this was looking very interesting for me. The fact that we got low volume here kind of shows me that we could get a quick move up to this high volume area, and that potentially this high volume area will show us some resistance. So that is some nice confluence around that order block there. Also, we got this untapped daily level. We got a 0.5 fib right there. And if I open this fib retracement, if you pull a fib from that wick right there, there's also a golden pocket sitting at the low end of this box. You may be able to move this up too, and yeah, you can get a golden pocket to align with the top of the box as well. So yeah, overall there is just a lot of confluence inside this box. There's a possibility that we SFP this, or CDW, whatever you want to call it. Basically make everyone think that we are continuing this uptrend here, get everyone to FOMO along, and then send it back down into the range. But if we don't reject from here, maybe let's say we just find a little bit of resistance, but then continue moving upwards, this box above us is also going to be some pretty key resistance. So we got this golden pocket pulled from this wick up here. It is also another little consolidation range. I called it a daily order block, maybe because I don't really know exactly what defines an order block. I just kind of define it as a little area of consolidation, or basically an area where some trades in the opposite direction can take place. Like, there weren't a lot of longs on this way down, but there probably were some longs in this little area right here. So I'll call it an order block, why not? And I also have this zone up here marked high volume zone as well. You can see that little spike of volume there. There's another spike of volume right below it. So yeah, this area right here is also some pretty high volume, some nice confluence around that golden pocket as well. And probably most importantly is the support and resistance that we found in this zone before. Very heavy support there, very heavy resistance over here. And this box is coming in between like $25 and $22.3. And that first box is coming in between $20 and 17.8-ish. So yeah, I'd say in terms of just support and resistance, these are going to be some of the most key levels here. You can also extend that first box back, and we've found some major support on this level in the past as well. So I think both of those zones are going to be key resistance on the way back up. And then I also have that 786 outlined. So if you, take the volume from just the downtrend from when we put in those highs, you can see we got this massive spike in volume right up here around that 786, which I know it's hard to see, but there is a 786 right there. So I like that zone as well. If you kind of zoom out to everything, you can actually still see this is a massive spike in volume here. So yeah, I like that 786 as well. Let's see, I wonder if that is also a golden pocket from the highs. Yeah, I mean, look at that. It is kind of a golden pocket from the highs. If you want to move this box up a little bit, yeah, you could say we got 786 and golden pocket confluence around that high volume zone. The volume kind of dies off right before the golden pocket, but I'd still keep that GP in mind. Basically, I'm looking for places where we could potentially put in a lower high before maybe coming back down towards the lows again, or potentially even putting in lower lows, because I am still of the belief that the bull run hasn't started yet, even if we've reached the lows in general of the bear market. Doesn't mean we can't revisit them in the future before the bull run actually starts. And of course, I may be wrong, but that is the mindset I'm kind of sticking with when I'm looking for these key resistances. Alright, well, I think that's about all I wanted to go over in this video. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. I really appreciate the support, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.